Hello, it's day 70 of the Liberator project, and this is part 2. Now I'm doing this video so I can link it to the eBay page when I sell the car, so no one's in any illusions about what the car is. It's sold for spares and repairs, though it is drivable. Now I've just taken it up the road and back. It is drivable. Let's go through the problems though. The reason the car was written off by my insurance company was here. You see I had a slight accident and broke the indicator and bumper, so it's a bit of damage to the front wing. This is the reason it was taken off the road. Before then it was, you know, MOT'd and drove absolutely fine, but you know, an insurance company, you know, the car's not expensive, so by the time you repair the front bumper and headlight, they might as well just write the car off. And I bought it off the insurance company because it's got a Z-Tech 16 valve 2 litre engine, which I could drop into my kit car, which is currently a Pinto 2 litre. There's all the adaptation kit you need, and even mates up with the gearbox. So that was my plan, and you know, things have taken a turn for the worse since then, so I haven't done it, and say I'm selling everything as part of the Liberator project. So let me walk you around the car, then I'll talk you about what's up with it. You can see the car's spares and repair. There's a you know, a few issues with it, a bit of trim, a few knocks here and there, but basically it's quite a nice car actually. I mean, it was although it's sat for a few years in a bush, it's actually come up very nicely. So it you know, there's a few dents, bits of trim and things, but basically it's okay. And inside, let's show you inside. There we go. It's a gear, so it's quite well equipped. It was very well equipped at the time, but now probably this is all just standard equipment. So I'll show you inside that, and going round back the other way. I'll show you from the other side, back of the car, and there we go. It's quite nice. Now I was going to swap the speakers over with my other Mondeo, which is over there. However, I've decided not to do that. I'm selling my red Mondeo in a few months time, so might as well leave the speakers as they are. So that's how it is. You can see, go around, it's done, you know, 128,000 miles. Right, so that's it's heated seats, electric motors, you know, it's quite nice. It's a nice car. I found them, you know, as I said before, I've had 5 of these Mondeos. I think they're great cars. So that's the car. That's the good points on it. I took it for a drive, and let's go over the bad points. Well, first of all, sorry, I'm turning it round, but of course the camera's the other way around, so you can't see me still. I'll go around here. So I took it for a drive. It's because it had been stood for a while. The battery's no good, so the alternator works fine, but the battery doesn't hold charge. So that's what you expect when it's been sat for a few years. But you know, it's not a bad little engine. I mean, because the car's been sat for a while, when I was driving it, all smoke and leaves and things were sort of burning off, but it was okay. It was quite noisy, and that's because the downpipe's blowing, and that's you know, with these I think you can clamp them up, because there's an actual ring that joins the two halves, and I think it's blowing there, but maybe it needs a new downpipe. And the reason I'm not running it, well, for one, I don't want to chance my luck and driving a car, you know, that's you know, driving this car on the road without getting it fully checked out is a bit of a risk. The oil pressure light was on, and when I've checked the oil, you know, the oil, I won't do it now. When you do the oil level, there's virtually no oil in the car. Now, incredibly, there was no spare oil in my car. I usually carry some with me, and even worse than that, there was none in my garage. So it definitely needs oil. It needs, you imagine, it's been stood for years. It needs a full service, needs an oil change, needs new coolant put in it, you know, probably well, it needs everything done to it to make it run. But so the engine's quite sweet. The brakes were a bit spongy on it, but you know, as I said, that's what you expect, because you know, the if it's been stood for a while, the brake fluid will absorb moisture. And also, I mean, you know, the discs are probably a bit rusty. I imagine that if I drove it for a bit, they would sharpen up. But you know, let's not be let's not fool ourselves. It might need some work done on the brakes. It might need, well, it definitely needs new brake fluid. Maybe it needs other things as well. But it's not too bad. Power steering's working, and say the engine seems absolutely fine. Just need to give it a service, top up the oil, change the brake fluid, and there you go. So here's a car for you. There is, I've got a stereo in it for you, but I've got another stereo, which is the 7000. I don't know what that's like, but that's in there is the RDS 5000, and it's really annoying because someone has written the code, passcode, on the radio. You know, they need a 4-digit code so you can unlock them, and it's the wrong code, so that's incredibly frustrating. Now I know that the you know, the code is in the handbook. I've just got to find out where that is. You know, I've got to find the logbook and owner's manual and all the documentation that came with this car. And regulars to the channel will know I had that with the camper, and I've got that with my kit car. I've got to, you know, I've got to find a better place to put my logbooks. But anyway, that should be found soon. So that's the car. I took it for a drive. Do you want to see the wheels? I suppose it's been stood for a while, so it will need new tyres, but the wheels are quite nice. There we go. If there's anything else you want to see or ask me about, you know, drop me an email or leave a comment, and I'll get some more pictures. But you know, this is what the car's like. It was fine, apart from that, apart from the headlight damage. It was fine when I parked the car, and so it's been stood. If you look at my channel, it was parked in a blackberry bush for quite a few years, and it's cleaned up quite nice. And say it, you know, it's sold as spares and repairs. So you might want the whole car, or you might want to take the engine out. I mean, that was my plan. My plan was to swap the engine with my kit car, but take some pictures. There's been some welding on the car. I mean, I'll go around. You can see the seals. And on the other side, it's actually been welded, but it hasn't been welded very well, so you might want to get that redone. You might have to get that redone, but you see that's been replaced, just not not done very nicely. Okay, there we are. That's gone over the car. It is drivable. I certainly wouldn't want to drive it for too long myself without getting it checked out by a garage or an MOT. And to be honest, I don't know if it would drive for too long without a service and an MOT. But spares and repairs, there we are. 2 litre Mk2 Mondeo for sale. And that's part 2 of today. And the day is really flying on, so I've really got to crack on. And now I'm going to do my kit car. So I'll see you in a bit. Bye.